I'm going to share my screen right away. Python. What is Python programming? Now, I want to believe that you've made efforts to understand what Python programming is and confirm that you can see my screen if you can, please. I need 2 persons or more. So,
Yes, boss.
thank you. Where did I keep it? Oh, there is no here. Sorry. Okay. I made some outline. I wish you could be seeing it. If the link you clicked to join this meeting, it should be there. Should be there. I'm gonna take a look at it. So I'll just start running through it very quickly. Mr. Belly, you may begin your recording. Are you good? So please, once in a while, I'm going to try to confirm that I'm still in the call because I'm in Nigeria. This talk can be very funny. I could be locked out, I could be kicked out of this call without knowing it. I'll be talking to myself, thinking I'm communicating. So once in a while, I may need you to unmute and respond. You know, so do when it's such time, do it to be fast about it so that to make progress. Example for now, can you still hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. And you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. That seemed to be some seconds delay. All right. Making progress. Sorry, I'm searching for the outline. All right, have it for me. First, the pattern interpreter. Now, I don't want to start talking about the language, the pattern language. I know we are still learning C programming, but if you really pay attention to at least the beginning side, the basics of C programming, writing functions, some simple functions, you should be able to understand how that the Python language makes a lot of things easier, very much easier. Some things I would like, I may write with 5 lines of code using C. I could use one line, one single line. For example, hold on, please. The simple hello world program. Okay, I'm going to make a new directory for us for this class. What do I do? Okay. All right. Discover that if I wanted to write I may be abstract, but if I'm saying something, if you're not getting me, please feel free to call my attention back, please. If I'm too fast, call my attention back. I may not demonstrate everything. I may assume that you know what I'm talking about. I may assume that at this point, everyone in this call could at least learn. Learn abstractly. You're learning without seeing what you're learning, but it's happening in your head, in your mind. Just the way it's happening in my mind. So something. So if you want to print only the simple hello world program, you discover you need to use the preprocessor that they include, and then you include the header file, the standard input output header file, and then you come down, you declare the particular prototype of the main function, the most popular one I will use, int main void, and then you declare open curly brace, and then you call in printf, and then after printing you have a return value 0, and then you what else? You close the curly brace just to print hello world. After that again, you now compile it. There's different compilers, but GCC is one we know in this program. It's the one I know as a novice. That's the only one I've used in my life. And you compile, but in Python, you just one line. You're not declaring any variable, you're not declaring any, just one line. Something as simple as just writing print and then putting the string in bracket. It will just printed. For the fact that that file is given the file extension py.py, it becomes printed. What do I mean by file extension? Let me not assume that we all know what file extension is. File extension is that thing that follows after the dot, the name of the file. So we have what I mean is, for example, we have .mp3, .mp4, we have the .c, uh, we have several of them, several other examples. We .jpeg for pictures and what have you. So once you give a file name, the file extension py, and say print and put in parentheses and inside quotation mark, whether single or double, anything you put there is a string literal. It will print it out to the standard output. Now, talking about the Python interpreter, the Python interpreter has the ability to compile your code and run it immediately. And if you may have observed a certain um, um, directory that is automatically generated. It has a name py catch. Py catch. That's where your compiled codes, that's where they are stored automatically. It's not like C language where you compile first and then you run the executable file. This one, it will run your code automatically simply calling Python for the version 1, version 2, or Python 3 for version 3, any of the version 3 of Pythons, and then passing the name of the file. It will run it, or making the file executable by changing the mode. When you change the mode and add the plus X to the user, and then the name of the file, you will have it run as like just the way you run a bash script. I want to believe that most of us know what I'm talking about here. Just to be sure I'm not getting someone bored or wasting our time, is there anyone who thinks what I'm doing is necessary? This basic part, should I fly?
It's very necessary. Please continue.
Okay. So, knowing I would like to use a whiteboard as well. Hold on, please. So that I will illustrate this. Because at some point I may need to illustrate. How should I use? Okay, I have something on shape animations here. We have a video how we covered this particular topic practically. So you may want to take a look at it. If you're in the WhatsApp group, it's easier. The links are available there in the group description. Code Tribe. So you can look at them later. Let me make progress. So what I was trying to say is that just for emphasis, I was trying to say that use the Python interpreter as follows. And I'm going to use Python 3 because that's the version we've been using in PLD. So you do Python 3, and then you pass the file name to it. The file, which is one way you can do it. Or you do this to make the file executable. File name, and then later you run the file to verify itself. And another way is to use the interactive interpreter mode. I don't like to call it interactive interpreter, but it is a mode. It's a mode because it is the same interpreter we're using, right? So what you need to do to call this one is to just type in Python 3. If you have a lower version of Python, if you type in Python, this one will run Python 2, to run Python 1. But to create that difference, we do this. Once you do this, you get a prompting that looks like this, which I believe that most of us, if not all of us, that have seen. You know, this is the primary line, primary prompt, right? Rather, and next one will be something like this. You know, that is if it's an unfinished statement. So you get the secondary line, and this mode is able to tell you per line what you're doing per line, the results you expect per line. It gives you report per line. It interacts with you. You know, and those are the three ways. That's it about the pattern interpreter. And Python can be used as a calculator. That's the next thing I have on my outline here. If there's no question about the Python interpreter, I just go ahead. So this is the interactive mode of the interpreter. On your sandbox, you may have discovered that you have this other this sandbox that operates with Ubuntu 14 point something 14.04 LTS. It has Python 1 in it, Python 2, Python 3 in it. Okay, that's by the way. Let me not get like it. Okay, let's focus on the tree. I'm using Python 3.7.4, and this is interpreter mode. It could be used as calculator. Is, you know, if I say 3 plus 2, I get the answer as 5. By the way, those spaces just to make my code more readable. I could work without this space and it will still work. 3 plus 4 is 7. So this white space is not for the interpreter. It's for you. Your fellow programmer is reading the code. Let's try this. So whether I'm right or wrong. Oh, so 3.6, 2 plus 6 still printed. As a matter of fact, in C, there was something I did one time in one of our classes, how that I was demonstrating what semicolon really does. And then I scattered the program. I scattered it the way it would be looking so rough in our eyes. But the compiler still recognized the code and compiled it without error. I wish I had time to do that, but let's fly. So you could do addition, subtraction, and the asterisks for multiplication, and then division. But this one is called classic division when you use single forward slash. So if I do 4 divided by 2, I'm going to get a float as an answer, 2.0, rather than just 2. Right? So just to make what I just said now clear, let me not assume that we all know what data types are. I'm going to duplicate this and come on, duplicate this and use one to remind us and also inform someone who needs it, that will have the following basic data type. These are we have built-in data types. Data types, and we have derived data types. This is one of the headache now that are giving us in C. We thought we had graduated from C, and we kept saying C. In fact, it happened in such a way that if you didn't understand C those days in Sprint 1, you'd be having a problem in Sprint 2. You are forced to go back to certain concepts that you probably that we did in Sprint 1 if you didn't understand concepts such as array, linked list, and even pointers. If you don't understand pointer, double pointer, function pointers in C, you may just have problems. Even for you to even look very well in Python, it means you understand the use of loop, while loop, for loop, and if loops. You know, the use of break and continuous, all of those stuff that we are doing then, right? So this indirect types, I'm going to try to. This is the way I understand it. It's car, right? Right. Some bulletin. It's car for character, and there is int for integers. There is also float. Because someone to unmute and tell me the difference between these three. Between int and float, rather. What's the difference between int and float? Am I still in this call, please?
Yeah.
Am I still in the call?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, so
Tell me, what's the
I'd like
difference
to
between int? Yes.
I'd like to try the difference between an int and a float.
Okay.
An int, which is an integer, is a data type that represents whole numbers. So we're dealing with continuous numbers, but for a float, it represents a continuous number, which is with decimal points.
Continuous number. Does anyone disagree with this, or does anyone agree with this? Let me see the decimal points. Do you agree with this, please? Does anyone disagree with this? You should talk. Oh, it's better. If you talk, I can't. If you talk, if you start delaying to respond, so that's what you think it is. So someone, I will need some people to move emotion that this guy is correct or this guy is wrong. Who talks now, please? Let me not be some guy. Who was the person that?
Yeah, it was me, Adewale Emmanuel.
Okay, Adewale Emmanuel. All right.
Yeah.
So somebody should prove him right or wrong. Then we'll move on.
I didn't really get what Imara said.
I didn't get it, but it's on the screen now. He said that int is for integer, meaning whole numbers, and float is for continuous numbers, meaning numbers with decimal points.
He's correct.
He's correct. It's just that floats can either be positive or negative with one or more decimal points.
Okay.
Decimal integers and floats can either be positive or negative. They are both the same. The only difference is that decimal point, and one has decimal point, which floats. Int does not have decimal points. That's just the difference.
Are you? Is she correct? I like that. I've got a lively audience here. Beautiful class. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all. That was a great attempt. That was a great one. Okay. What? Please, I want some more bit in data type. Somebody talk to me. Give me some more bit in data type in C now, like in C. Apart from this three, which other one do you know?
There's also double.
Double.
There's long integer.
Long integer. What's that symbol again? Long integer. Okay. I hope I spelled it correctly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, in all of this now, in C, in fact, I believe that string is a derived data in C. You know why? Because in C, car is for character, a single character. So you want to declare a character, you say this, well, let's say this is the variable, you declare the variable name. I like to put, when I put something in bracket like this in greater than and less than sign, I what I mean is it's not just really this is presenting something else. So it's not really var, but it's presenting something. So you declare the variable name and then you declare the size as well. Let's say the size as well, and then you made also declare the content. But then this is called array. I believe as well that array is a derived structure because there is no um, okay, this one is clear. Nobody is dragging it. Nobody is arguing this one. But I believe that string is a type of array. It's simply an array of characters. So when it's one character, let's say A, of course we declare it like this, putting single quotes in between them and then as column. A. When it becomes more than one character, it's not a string. Even there's a white space added there, there's just a space. It is not a string, and it still has the same data type. So it makes me think. But if you think otherwise, you may want to correct me. It makes me think that string is a derived data type in C programming. Unlike in Python, because in Python we have such a thing as str, a string. We have the int, we have the float, we have all of these here. Now, the single linked list as well. You know, it's usually logical. It's you thinking, you being abstract, like something that, I mean, when we are talking about being abstract, you've seen several programs. We have to programs on a daily basis, right? You see several programs that do several things, and you can't tell how it's working inside. What I mean by that is, for example, if I write a program like this, look at this program and compare the outputs of these programs. I'm opening Emacs. That's my favorite editor as far as alias is concerned. I'm still falling in love with it that I don't even use IDEs. Okay. I want to print. Okay, let me use the popular hello world. I want to print hello world. This is what we know, right? This is what we know. We'll put this, and then we'll put this, and then if I save this and call it hello the pie. If you watch the base of my Emacs, you see what is happening there. So you follow everything. Hello the pie. I say enter, and I go here. Is 60 interpreter mode, the interactive mode, rather. Clear the screen, look for the files here, and I want to run it now. So Python 3, hello world. It prints hello world. Now, the user will see hello world here when he runs this program, but the user does not know what is happening inside this program. The program, it doesn't know. It doesn't know whether I put the hello world inside a variable named hello equals, let me take this off and pass it to hello world. Control K, right? Oh, missed it. It should be Control W. Okay, I'm gonna paste that here, yank it here, and then I ask this guy to rather print what is inside the variable. So if I save this and go back to this file and run it again, I still get hello world. if I come back here again and say, let me try something else. I say, if I pretend it's using, let's say I now did print hello, go down here, then now this thing and say world, and call close the bracket. Let me use the capital H, uppercase H. That's what we're using. And if I save this, come on. So if I save this and go back here and run this same file, I'm still getting hello world. So I did 3 different things. I'm getting the same thing. So to the user, it doesn't matter how you did it to, for the user to get his own results. So in the same vein, that's how we go abstract. We want to do those link listing, double link lists, hash tables. User does not know what is happening. All it knows is that I want to see such data. I should be able to enter it into my computer. I mean, the user comes and taps one button. You know, some of you are like that. You will tap your power button on the computer. It comes on. You don't know what was happening inside. You didn't know until you go to a point in your life when you need to learn something called simple share. When you need to write your own simple share, you need that there's something called init file that initializes. That. I mean, you know that there are files in binaries containing binaries. There are files that comes with your operating system that perform those actions without which your computer will not come on. Okay, that's just by the way. Let me not digress too much. Okay, I like to demonstrate. Let me work my outline before I escape it. Python interpreted using the calculator. Okay, square. Please, someone help me. How do we find the square of a number using Python in the interpreter mode?
We use double exteries.
Thank you. So if I want to find the square root of this is square root or square, which one is correct now? I want to find square of 5, which is 5 times 5, which is supposed to be 25. I do double asterisk and I get 25, right? And then I talked about classic division earlier. 5/2. Division is programmed to produce float, because decimals. So, it's programmed because so that it could accommodate remainders. This thing now, this 5 here, if you convert it to fraction, it will be 1/2. If I do 1/2, the answer should be 0.5. I'm not going to teach long division. I want to believe that everyone here knows this. Now, but what if you don't? You're dividing 2 by 2 and you're getting 1.0. You don't want the 0. That's why you want to do what we call float division. That's a function in Python called float. There's another one called seal. That's by the way. We may not talk about that today. I want to believe that you know these things, because one of the things that will help you is not that you spend 2 hours learning in this class. Is that it's what you do, what you get, and it's how much preparation you made before coming for this class. For meeting such opportunities, it matters a lot. So if I don't want this, I will do something like this. I believe a lot of people know it here. 2/2. By the time I put double of this /, it will now give me this kind of an integer. In fact, what will happen if I do this? Somebody talk to me. What will happen if I do this? What about is supposed to give us? The answer is supposed to be decimal. There's supposed to be some remainder. It's supposed to be 0.5. So what will happen if I do this? I do a float division.
That's 0.5. That means it's 0.5 and leave it on 0.
Oh, who disagrees with her?
0, 0.
Nobody disagrees. So I'm clicking it now. And what she said was right. I am moving to the next thing on my outline, strings. Is there any question before I move forward? Someone is trying to say something. Okay.
To compare this with C, is C, if we want to get the whole number, we use just one, that is one division sign. But in Python, is double division. So in C, if we want to get the decimal, what do we use? I know we are talking about Python, like I just got a whole few since is giving us different values.
Yeah. Ha! As in, okay. This is Code Tribe. I mean, the community organizing this PLD is Code Tribe, and we meet on WhatsApp. Apart from this general PLD that we invite people from everywhere, we have what we call Code Tribe Special, and we have what we call Code Tribe Code Challenge. And then the question you ask now is the type that is handled in Code Tribe Code Challenge, where we are ready to deviate from the topic of the day and start trying new things. So how do we now? Because we want it to appear in decimal, not just remainder, right? You do know that the modulo operator will give you the remainder. Are you aware? She's still with me. Hello.
She's still here. She's still here, I guess. I think let me interpret the question. Okay.
Okay.
Like this one that we're having 5 divided by 2 is giving us 2.5. But when we do, I don't know whether she was trying to say if we do that in C, we are going to get 2 or something instead of 2.5.
Okay. Yes, I think she said something like that. Yes, she said so.
Yes.
And
So
then
how can we
if I
get
get her
it
very well,
as 2.5 instead of the 2 it was bringing?
instead of 2, yes.
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 I think I can actually answer that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, if I'm out. I don't want us to deviate, but one, go
But
ahead,
don't worry,
please.
just don't worry, go ahead. I'm not exactly totally sure.
Okay.
Yes,
This is, I
for
mean,
C,
programming has
for
a
C,
part you learn.
okay, let me just say for C, you are declaring
Yeah.
you have data type. You have to declare the data type of your, and I'm not sure if you can divide an integer data type with a float. If you are dividing integer by integer, you get integer. I'm not sure if you can divide integer by float.
Okay.
So if you
Okay.
want
So
to get float,
that's a work.
it has to
That's the work
be
for code challenge.
float divided by float, you get float. But integer divided by integer, you always get integer.
So is there no way we can make
But
this
I'm not
guy?
sure, I've not actually tried another way, but actually I know it's because we have data type declaration. Yeah, we don't declare, we don't specify the data type. We just assign
Yes.
value to the variable.
Yeah.
And it will pick it up for us, the type of value that we added to that variable.
So I don't know who asked that question, but
Is,
I wish
Stella.
I wish I remember that question when we begin our code challenge,
I
and
will
then
remember, don't
we'll
worry.
make C.
Me, I will remember.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward. Strings. Another question, please. Okay, I want to ask you that's another question. Let me go to my whiteboard and indicate that I am now talking about strings. This could be smaller. It is now. Okay, strings. So what is this about strings? It's a built-in data type in Python. What is it about strings? Strings. In C, where you're coming from, in C local government area, you know that string is an array of characters. I think it is still treated like that here. But in Python, we don't say char, we don't say int, like Mr. Bedo said earlier. Python is capable of recognizing what we are working with. working with. So this guy still takes the form. I mean, instead of us to call, if it were in C, I want to declare a if I want to declare a string named hello containing hello world. It will be something like this. I may not specify the size as the compiler has the capacity to automatically tell what size uh, the buffer is. And then I say hello, hello, hello something. I don't like this hello word again. It's every time I do hello word. Hello word. Hello. Somebody give me a word.
Hello, Mama.
Hello,
Hello, Mama.
Nigeria.
Hello Nigeria. Hello my country.
The person that says so, she's in London. She did talk hello Nigeria.
She's not our country. All right. So this is it in C. Compared to the way I would have done this in Python, just as simple as doing this. The same hello Nigeria. Hello Nigeria. Now what's now the difference? The difference is that we don't go through those all this stress again. C has been Python has been programmed to. I mean, a lot of things have been made easy
Sorry, let me
to make the
point
line of code.
something out too. Will
Okay, go ahead.
will C accept this single quote as a string?
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it. But then, see, when you're declaring an array of character, once you declare this guy here, C will now start accepting single quote for each character. But then I don't know C to accept single quotes. I've not tried it before. I don't remember trying
It
it
won't
before.
accept
So let's
single quote. He specifically said once it's double quote, it is string. Single quote is a
okay.
character.
Oh, how blind C is. If not that C is the mother of this language, we would have thrown it away. Thrown it away. But C is a very good programming language. I mean, being skillful in C programming is it gives you an edge over some programmers out there. I'm telling you. That's why I'm giving it attention. That's why I'm happy. I'm glad that I learned it through in LAX where we had to do hard things. You know, those things we go through. I've not seen so. I don't know of anyone that go through any group of persons that go through those things, writing your own functions, emulating standard library functions. Maybe there are, but I believe there are few of us, very few of us. Some of us are in haste to leave C and dump C. I am not. I'm not. I'm trying to so fall in love with it or with her. Okay. But despite the fact that we didn't have to declare some buffer size here, this guy still knows. I mean, a lot of things happen in Python automatically. For example, the malloc, trying to dynamically allocate memory for a particular data. What the malloc and free function. If you want to malloc, you must free. Else that memory remains occupied with. I mean, remains reserved or occupied with what you put inside it. If you're actually using it, you must free it, but in Python is not so. Once you're through, Python frees memory by itself. You don't even need to malloc anything in Python. So Python still knows the size of this buffer. Strings are immutable. Immutable. By that I mean that they are unchangeable. Unchangeable. Please, we've not gotten to lists. And I know that some of us know list, and it is possible that someone here that may find list strange, but I will still talk about list just to demonstrate something. Okay, list is just is that structure. Let's say my list equals to that usually has something like this: a square bracket, and then some content inside. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I close it. This is a list. This is a list. Let me now do a string that looks like this list. Let's say my string as well. let me call it my str as my string, and call it 1, 2, 3, 4. I intentionally want to leave it like this. It could be double string, it could be single. I mean, it could be double quote, it could be single quote, enclosing the characters. At this point, these guys are not integers anymore. They are string. They're recognized as characters right now. You know, coming a string. Let's go to the interpreter mode and practicalize. Let me confirm that I said everything I wanted to say here. Okay, I think I have. Okay, I was going to say that these guys as well treated as an array, even in Python. The way you can do, you can refer to H in this, in the above declaration, C in C, as the element at index 0, and then at index, somebody should talk to me. What do we have at index 7? If this here is an array in C, a string in C, index 7 will be what?
N.
N. Let's confirm. This is 0.
I.
1. This
I.
is 2, 3, 4. This is 5. N is 6.
Yes, it started
And
from
I
1.
is 7. So I is correct. Okay. So that's the same way these guys are treated. So if I do hello 7 in Python, to stick that I, we printed. You want to experiment and practicalize using your system if you are new to this. What I mean that if this is the first time you're giving it attention like this, avail yourself the opportunity to learn new things. Okay, let me go. I'm going to to the interpreter now and declare these components and show you something, a difference between two elements, two variable pointing to the same object. You know, we did a project called everything is object in Python. You know, are they pointing to the same object? The difference between when they are pointing to the same object and when they have the same value. Let me make this a complete clause that makes sense. So let me say, what did I just do? Uh, so let me say two variables. Variables themselves are objects. Variables may point to, like I said, this is a journey, right? Okay, two variables may one point to the same object, and if you have a writing material by you, you're wise, very wise, because I don't know how you want to convince me that all these things will enter your head, except you know these things very well before now, or you have a good basic understanding, and then so I'm just adding to what you know. Uh-huh. So if you don't have the writing materials by you and you're at the level where you can say I rate myself 1/10, and you're wrong. So two variables may point to the same object and they may have the same value. Now that they have the same value does not mean that they are pointing to the same object. What is an object? An object is a space in the memory. So once you declare a variable takes a space in the memory, like a container, ready to receive a value. Here we have a variable hello, and its value is hello Nigeria. Here we have a variable my string, and its value is 1, 2, in fact 1, space 2, space in string. All those things are valid. Meanwhile, in list, what is seen here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want to demonstrate this and then go ahead and demonstrate the immutability of strings. Okay. All right. So let me clear the screen a bit, and so I'm declaring my string. Let me begin with my list. My apologies if list is strange to you, but don't bother. Remember all this space. This space is nice for just formatting for us to calculate the level. So I have a variable now called my list. It's just if you want to see it, you do this. You see it. If you want to see the way it would have printed, if this was a file, you do this. My list. Once you pass something to print without single quote enclosing it or double quote enclosing it, it means you're passing a variable. If it's not a variable, then you must enclose it in either a double quote or a single quote. So this is how the same way you have printed. Now let me declare my string. Someone should please confirm that I'm still in this call before Nigeria network will do me really. Thank you. Thank you. So this is my string. My string. Then I say print. Observe the difference in behavior. Print my string. When I just call the variable here, it gave me a likely output for print function. When I call the variable here, it was just telling me, see what you have inside here. When I say print, now it now gave me the way it was printed if I wrote it as a file using Emacs or VI or Vim. Okay. Now we want to understand what it means for two variables to point to the same object. And what to use, the function that is used, the method that is used to check it is what is. Meanwhile, the one that's used to check this one is the normal equality sign that we use in programming. Equals. I'll go back and declare some more variables. If I say okay, I'm doing this to illustrate that strings are immutable. If I declare another string with exactly the same value, they will be pointing to the same place. Python will not go and create a new one. Python will point to this particular one because it will not allow, since strings does not change, it will say, okay, you mean that guy. Let me give this an illustration. We are in a group called Code Tribe. It's a WhatsApp group, right? We meet steady to learn. Now, if you want, let's assume we have different programmers. Programmers in different language in that group, and then we say is okay. Let me not take it too far. Let's assume we are comparing Java and JavaScript. They are very different languages. So Java and JavaScript may be able to use them to want to do a similar thing. Someone may want to attempt using them, put them to do similar thing, but they're not the same language, right? So it's like asking is okay, let me go back to the former illustration I was using. For my illustration. Now we're in Code Tribe, and there's only one person that programs in JavaScript. So when you come and say, okay, we are learning JavaScript today, we just know it's that person that will teach us. We know there are not two of them. So strings is like a community of programmers. We are not two programmers programming the same language. I don't know whether my illustration is making sense. Not two programmers programming the same language. So if you're a Python programmer, you're in this class. If you're no two class program, okay, fine. Let's assume LAX. In LAX, no two cohorts learn the same programming language. Let's say cohort 7 learns C, cohort 8 learns C++, cohort 9 learns Python. So when you come and say, I am from LAX, I am a C programmer. We just know you're from cohort 7. We just know. That's how strings are. So once you give another variable this same string, it cannot create another one. That string exists. It will go and point to it. Let me demonstrate that. I want to create another string. Let's say I'll call it string 2. str2. I say it equals. It's equal to the same thing I gave the other guy. So I go. Now I have string 2 and I have my string. Now let's confirm. To confirm whether they are pointing to the same object, we do string 2 is my string. It went, oh, this is strange. Whoa. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, we'll confirm why that happened. Now let's do another one. If string 2 equal to my string, it says true. Okay, now it's saying they're not pointing to the same object. I want to find out why. Amazing. Okay, let's do this. If I say,
Sorry. Is it,
you want to help
are
me?
you trying to say, I don't really get it. Are you trying to say strings are unique? Like once you create a variable that is holding a string,
Yeah.
that variable
Yes.
cannot hold another string.
The variable can only hold another string if you give it an entirely new string. You cannot change, you cannot alter anything in that string it is holding. You get
Okay. So for this one, that
something?
is, this string is, there are two different variables. They are not the same variables.
Okay.
I think the is comparing the, why this one equals is comparing the values stored inside the what? The variables. I don't exactly get where you are going, but continue, just continue.
Okay, let me try this. Sorry. 3 2 equals to, please, before I try this, let's go back to the simple side so I will not cause confusion. Please, we'll come back to this, right? So we have a string now called my string, and I'm going to change the value of my string just to be able to demonstrate certain things. So I will say my string is hello Nigeria. Okay, so this is hello Nigeria now as my string, and let's try assessing. Let's confirm whether the young man that says I is at index 7 was correct. So if I say print, of course I could do without print in this mode. Print this. So it prints I. Now, if you want to now say, in C, you can do something like hello. No, sorry, my string. You can change. I say my string at index 0 is no more H. It's not equal to G. You could do this in C, but this will not work here.
No, G is a variable, not a. Okay.
Thank you. So it still didn't work. It tells you that string object does not support item assignment. So you cannot change this thing that is here. You can only say, okay, my string is no longer equal to hello Nigeria. It is not equal to something else. And in fact, you can even use and say it is not equal to my string. And then you concatenate, add more string to it. And say space. Say, how are you? This is like changing the value of the string. This is what it means. So if I okay this, it worked. If I call back my string to see the value, it is no more pointing to that object I was pointing to again. It is now pointing to something else, the new value you just gave it. So hello Nigeria, how are you? right? Unlike list, when we learn list, they must start with that. But something strange actually happened here I did not expect. And let's, um, I think, okay, let me explain more basic things about string before I start doing that again. We'll go to that place. Okay, escape. Isn't the escape? You know how that how when you want to print a particular character in strings, and how that if we have this here, I want to print I will come. You need to. There will be a problem here. Let me not just assume. Let's print it. It didn't work because to this guy is it's seen that I ended the string here. It's not that I ended the string at this particular point where I put the next single quote. Because the string is supposed to be in between quotes, either double quote or single quotes. And in Python, you can enclose string in double quote, you can enclose string in single quotes. Fine. So if I just to let this apostrophe show and print that error, what I need to do is now see the report. All these reports they make sense when you understand how this is work. So perhaps you forgot to put a comma. They are thinking that these guys here are variables or something else, and so you need to add a comma between what's it called after this string closes. The same way we add comma after closing our string in C, after in a printf statement, you put printf, you close everything in a string, double quotes, and then you put your comma, and then give it space and start putting maybe the variable you're addressing the format specifiers to. I hope I'm not speaking big grammar now. What I mean is this. I'm saying this to say that when you see error messages, read them until they make sense to you. So if it were in C, that thing would have been printf, call it open bracket, and then what did I print here again? I'll come. Yeah, I'll come, and then this, and let's assume. So if wanted to pass any argument here, like I did, let's say I think print this percentage D, and percentage D is contained in a variable called num. This comma that separates the string from this further part. Python also uses something like that, not exactly the same way, of course, in a more advanced way. So it's saying that perhaps you forgot to add a comma because in its mind, you have closed your string here. After closing your string, there should be a dot or a comma before the next thing, or something, or a concatenation, something like that. Now, if I do something like this, it will work because I have been able to escape. I'm talking about escape now. Escape. I've been able to escape this character here. It's supposed to be a special character, but by putting double quotes out here, it will not be a special character. It will not be a normal string. So it prints outcome. Another way I would have done that is to still leave it as single strings, but use the backward slash character to escape it. So this character now means we did things like this in C. So it now means don't treat the next thing as a special character. Treat it as an ordinary string, right? And then you see it prints without error. That's it about escape. And follow me closely. If I'm too fast, please come our attention. It's getting more complex. I'm going to be more complex after this level. What's the time now? Wow. We spent 1 hour plus. Have a nice time. So another thing is about raw strings. What are raw strings? Now, if you know that this guy itself is a special character, but not on its own. I'm talking about this backward slash. Depending on what follows, If I do, I know several of them, but I've been practicing with only a few of them, so I can remember only a few of them. I remember something like this for tab. I remember something like this again for uh, and for new line. I believe you know this one. Alex kept telling us do this and add a new line, do that one and add a new line. Add a function that does this and adds a new line. So we've done this new line character. We've used it very well, so much. Now see what tab does. Um, um, put in a string and say Saturday. Like I'm taking, let's say I'm taking an attendance of people that attended PLD. So on Friday, and I put tab and say we had 45 as attendance. And then put new line. See the way I'm compressing everything here. New line, because that's how I want it to print. I don't want space. This is there. I put new line and say on Saturday. I put tab. So we had 50 people in attendance. I close my string and then close my parenthesis. Print. The reason why that tab is not, let me make the tab equal. Okay. It's like when you're typing in Microsoft Word and you're using tab, there's a way the first one will be long, the other one will not, the tab will not match. So let's make it same. So here it is, Friday, 45, and Saturday. So see what the tab is doing. This /T is what is doing this, keeping this space between Friday and 45. Why this /N is what moved this other Saturday to a new line. You can see the /T here did the same thing as well. Okay. Now, raw string is the type of string that will make this guy not function like a special character. That's what raw string does. I'm going to clear my screen. I had a call. I just left. I just ignored the call. That's how important this class is to me right now. Yeah, that call has to be too special. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to print something like, let's say I'm printing the part of a directory, right? Let me show you this. Look at the way it is. Okay, this is how it is on Linux. Or Windows, it will be /, it will be /, right? Let me show you for my Windows as well. This is the virtual machine, so I'm using it to operate the Linux system. Let me go back to Windows and do this. I'm going to launch my Git bash.
Is the same /.
What? What did you say?
Is the same /.
Ah.
Mm.
Which one is // again?
/ is the escape character.
That's great. Okay. Thank you.
I think if you use command prompt, you see /.
Command prompts. Thank you. Aha, Baba. Okay. I want to print exactly what I have here. I want to put what I have here. I hope I can copy this in here. Really copy. So I'm going back to my virtual box, my virtual machine, my Linux system, and I want to paste it into this place.
I'm not sure you can paste from two different environments.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Two different computers.
Yeah.
We don't see each other. Okay, let me just look at it and master it. Memorize it rather.
Oh, memorize it for
Okay, I mean, I can bring it here.
I know
I
it
still
already.
You know it already?
Mm.
All right, give it to me. I know there's a C there.
colon.
Yeah.
colon backward slash users backward slash topman.
Users backward slash topman, and then there was a
That
greater
greater
than
than
sign.
sign. Yeah.
Thank you. Now to print this now, see what happens. Let's even assume that the top man is please for. Okay, let me leave it up down. Scroll letter first.
Leave it.
I'll come at this small later. So you are seeing what is happening right now. Ready? I can't print. It's telling you plenty of things, plenty of things, plenty of things. And this actually means okay. Let's not go into that. Let's not go into that. So that we don't. Okay, let me just talk a little about it. The Python is able to recognize certain special. It's able to recognize operators, right? And okay, please let's not go to it now. Let's not go to it. I'm trying to talk about raw strings. Man, stick with raw string for now. Okay. Now, what do I do to make this thing print the way I want it to print? What do I do? Okay, let's even take away some things that may cause the wahala. Some things that are likely going to cause the wahala. Let's see what is really causing this wahala. Yeah, print is still print. I mean, there's still some more wahala. But then, okay, let me make the story short. There's something we do to make this string print the way it is. That's what we call raw string. It's as simple as adding R to the beginning of the string. Will this work? Let's try. Did you see that? It printed the way it is. That's what raw string is. Raw strings make every special character become normal character. Nothing special about them again. The pattern interpreter will no more see it as a special character. That is what raw string does. I'm enjoying myself. I like being practical.
You do. Can't you?
Very
You
practical.
can you not still escape every single one of the characters present there?
But do you like so far?
Yeah. So it's just like another method though. So
Yeah.
there won't be any need of the raw string. That's if you just have a single special character that you want to escape.
Yes. Yes. That's right. Yeah. So right now, if I look at you and say, what's the particular character that is topic causing this problem? Is it one in particular? What do you think? You start we start trying different things to debug. I took this one off. It still had a problem. That means next one we suspect is this guy, maybe this guy, and this guy. We start suspecting three of them. Then we now find out whether it's one of them or the three of them. And start escaping them one after the other. But simply adding R before the opening quote solves the problem and makes everything there ordinary. And of course, you don't want to use R where you have something like line. For example, if I had something like print a new line after this thing, say print a new line, you've rubbished that guy. You cannot print a new line again. It comes out as it comes out as this, right? As backward slash n. So you know when best to use the raw string, you know when best not to use it. There are times when you don't using it will cause havoc in your program. There are times when using it will really help in your program. So we're making progress. The next thing on my outline is
I
slicing.
just remember something. Can I just? I'm not sure that you mentioned it though.
Okay.
That this print function is automatically adding a new line.
Okay. I did not mention it. Thank you.
Unlike in C, we have to add our new line manually at the end of at the end of our code if we are printing something. But for this Python, this print is automatically adding a new line. Remember when you were doing this Python on the norms, when you were printing this hello world in the non-interactive mode, on the norms it will have your prompt will have been on the same line with the hello world. If you're using what's it called in C, if you don't add a new line, that's backward slash n, the prompt will have been together with what you printed.
Okay.
Yes. So the reason for that in Python is because this print is automatically adding a new line to it. You can just try it here. You see that there will be another extra space before the prompt. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Now, what Mr. Bello is trying to say is that okay. Let me not repeat it. Let me assume that you understand, except you're saying or not. Do I need to lay emphasis on that? So I don't want me to lay it.
Please repeat it, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
What he's trying to
Please,
say
Leo, please.
is that in C, in C,
Blessing.
please forget what I just added here. Forget what I just added here. Look at the output. In C, come on. Okay, I didn't add comma. In C, if you don't add a new line, this is what you get. Look at the prompt now. That's 3 greater than sign. Look at it next to my this. If you don't add a new line at the end of a program, this is what you will get. You will get. Now you don't want us to start writing a. You don't want us to start writing a new a C program to illustrate this. But let me go to my whiteboard to see. Come. This guy now print. If you don't add this here, this backward slash n here, the output of this thing. Let's assume that there's a variable here. The variable num, and num has an integer in it. Let's say num is 2 inside it, and you say print %d with your scope. New like character. Sorry, the environment is getting noisy. Sorry, I'm actually in. Let me give me a few seconds, please. Let me go to the studio. Go to
Okay. No. Please, help me do for touch. Let me see.
Whoa. To move into a less noisy place. This one though, one of my phone fell on the ground. The screen just
I think I
I
heard
was
this one.
packing through the things.
When you close the door, right?
I hope it's not broken, Sha.
What?
No, it did not
I
break.
hope
You
it's
only
not
touch the
broken.
ground. You only touch the ground. No break.
My screen don't get this. All of you should contribute
Thank God.
$10. Please, my screen. One of my screen has gone bad right now, but it's still working. Touchpad is still working well. Let's
Alright.
progress. Okay, so I was trying to say that if you have num equals 2 and want to print something like this, if we don't add this, if you add this, the output should be something like this. Let's assume that this is the prompt, and then the prompt will now go down because we have asked it to print a new line. But if this thing is not here, if this backward slash n is not here, please hold on. Sorry. Okay, so if this backward slash n is not here, if you take it off with this place, you know that this guy will print and not print a new line. The result will not look like this. That's what Mr. Yoda was trying to say. But the function print automatically adds a new line. Remember the function, there's a function you see that automatically adds a new line. Somebody remind me.
You can talk.
Unlike print, there's a particular function that adds a new line after
Should I
printing.
talk
You
or
see.
allow others to talk?
No, not you. If they don't answer
I know,
it,
say
that ends here.
I'm not completely sure, but I think it's put.
Thank you. You, it's like you're proud. Who is that person? Is Emmanuel?
Is me.
Is Emmanuel, is
You're,
Emmanuel.
you're humbly
Emmanuel.
proud. You just go like I'm not completely sure, but you say the correct thing. I'm not completely sure.
I know people like that.
Thank you, thank you. So put if you the function of put anything you give it without putting that adding that um, backward slash n, it gives you that new line. But here in print f, something like it to put, but a senior brother to put print. It's automatic. In fact, if you print like this, if you may have done it before, why certain problems in your project, if you just put this in your code as a line of code, it will print a new line.
Is it
And
just
it is
me
a
or
new
your
line.
screen has frozen?
Ah, you shouldn't freeze now. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Sure. Okay, okay.
I've moved to my learning
Yes.
my virtual machine. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Thank you. So that's what it was trying to explain. Let's move further. Next outline is I think I'm through with this, right? Slicing. We'll talk about slicing. It appears we'll not go beyond string today. In fact, it's not even looking like we'll complete strings today. Um, but this is a journey, right? This is a journey. You don't want to miss the subsequent classes because we are going to continue from here and we may not want to have one and the person take us back to things we'll finish discussing or things we finish talking about. So let's talk about slicing. I'm still wondering what happened. That I was trying to experiment and I didn't like the result I get. I was surprised, and that's how we learn, try and error. I wish I could speed up to get to that point where I'll try it again. I have about 28 minutes to go. Slicing. So what's slicing about? Slicing is about taking a particular portion of a string. I declared a string here, right? I think it was hello Nigeria, how are you? If I want to print, see, if I say okay, print from this is zero, this is one, these are the elements, right? And I'm counting the index. This is the element, this is element three. Element three is at index 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The space is the element, is the sixth element, but it's at index 5. Now, if I say I want to print from index 6, I want to print only in the element at index. Earlier on, I printed the element at index 7, which was I. Now I want to print a group of elements. Slicing is about picking out a group of elements you want to print. So if I say print the name of this variable is my string. So print my string, and I say print from. Now, usually you put a semicolon to indicate a semicolon stands between where you want to start from and where you want to print up to. Can I have another close, please? So where you want to start from, just to make sure that I communicated that to every single person here, I'm going to type it here. When you put the string name, and open the box and put this, what you're saying is print from, or you say I want from, let me use what I want because you may not even be printing it. Print is just for us to see what is happening. And in the interactive mode, you can see several things that are happening even without printing them, right? And so I want from index whatever. Then the comma is like saying to index something. Let me make this.
Can you just pass as the right and left and right up round of this on semicolon? Just put start and stop.
Okay, start at top.
Yes.
Okay. And from this, that's another way of saying it.
Abi?
Okay, that one you will make more sense if I have something inside here.
Okay.
If I have something inside the box. If I have, let me give an example. This above this example one. Example two now will be, let me not use the string there. When I say I'm using the string that I created. Okay, it's my string, right? My string is the string we're using right now. My string, and Nigeria is somewhere at 6, and 9IGE. Okay, Nigeria NIGERIA. As so it should be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if I say this illustrates that sentence you just used now. Start from index 6. Stop at index 12. I think I just exposed something now that the last number you pass to it is not taken. It does not include the very last index. So if you give it 13, it will stop at 12. If you give it 14, it will stop at 13. If you give it 10, it will stop at 9. How is it? Hello?
How are you?
Not you. Who is not?
I know.
Please close the door.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go back to our program and do this now. So I just counted that Nigeria is at 6. So we have, since Nigeria is at 6, we have I as 7, G as 8, E as 9, R as 10, I as 11, A as 12, the space as 13. So if I pass this argument here and say print from this element at the 6th index and print it up to index 13, it will print Nigeria for us. Let's confirm how right or wrong I am.
I don't think Nigeria. I thought we are counting both the spaces. Sorry to
Yes,
interrupt.
we're counting the spaces.
Then it should be at 7 now. N should be at 7.
All right, let's count. Hertz, 0. Who said that? Please count with me. E. When I call it later, you count. E
I
is
was
what?
counting.
I think
Sorry, I
Okay,
was
you're counting
counting.
for 1.
we started from 1.
Okay. What is it? Yeah. Guys, I'm getting distracted right now. Okay, please, Mr. PLD, can you be talking about styles and let me pick myself? Like I'm in the
Okay,
studio and
let me just
like they want
chip
to
in.
do.
Let me chip in something concerning
Okay.
this one that is exclusive.
Okay,
I'm
what
not
to
sure if you
change?
guys are going to. Why are you? Display that thing again now. Display that your screen, Baba. The whiteboard. The whiteboard. No. So here that we have this my string starting from 6, then we are saying it is stopping at 12 instead of 13. Okay, just take it as now we are dealing with indexes, and you know that for a string, if you're counting index, the number of indexes will always be what? One less than the total number of the string. That's the way I usually used to remember. That means what? If you are taking the right operand as the end of the string, but this one is what? Indexes. That means what? The end of the string is at what? Is at actually what? Is at 12. I don't know if you're getting the ideology that I use, but it might be a bit complex or technical, or I don't know, complicated, let me put it that way. But if you know that your index is always one less than the total number of yeah, your index is always one less than the total number of the string, then you can always apply it here. That whatever you have at the right operand of this operation, of this slicing operation, is taken as the last index. But to not get the string position at that place will be just subtract it from 1. That means the string is occupying is at what?
You can also count from behind using -1, right? Without representing 0. -1, -2, until you get to n.
We've not gotten to the negative aspect. Okay, I know we can always count from minus, but I'm just saying another ideology. Another person can implement his own different ways of trying to remember what this slicing actually means. Just know that the left operand is inclusive and the right operand is exclusive. That's if you're dealing with, that's if you're counting, I don't know if you're counting from the front, or if you're dealing with positive, but I don't know about the negative aspect. That one is still a mystery
Sorry,
to me.
Abiodun,
I don't like
could you
using the
please dive
negative one.
dive in?
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Could you please dive into the last sentence you made? Um, left is included and right is excluded.
yes.
Could you please go? Yeah, please. What do you mean by that?
Okay. Now we are starting our index position from 6, right, to 13. But he's saying that it should stop at index 12. That means
Yes.
we are not exclusive means we are excluding the 13th index. We are stopping a step before it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
why I take it that your index is always one less than the
Negative
total
one.
element.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Top man, are you back?
Mr. Abiodun, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Just like we use this interactive mode, we
Yes.
use Python 3 to go into the interactive mode in Python.
Yes.
Is that why you usually use node in I want to know if it's the same thing with that node in
Yeah, it's the same
C.
thing with node.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
same thing with mode. Please don't confuse me or teach me now.
No,
What is
no.
just
When you get to JavaScript, you will know that.
the same thing with node?
I use Node to go to the interactive mode of, Node.js is the JavaScript on runtime environment.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
like we have on Python 2 is also a runtime, is like an environment. So the interactive
Ah.
mode of that one. So we have Node like something like this. So that was what I
So don't
actually
confuse my
used.
life.
I was using it in one of their PLDs.
Okay.
So
Okay. Now I haven't known that. Like you're capable of slicing. Now let's note this as well. When you do not when you do not specify a place from where it will start from the very beginning. If I give it this, if I pass this particular argument, this particular syntax, rather, let's be using the right terms. This particular syntax we take from 0 to the very last index because I did not specify. Let's try that. I'll go back again and say print this, print from here to here. Since I did not tell you where to start from, where to end, it will take it from the beginning to the end. Now, if I give it 1 and not give it 1, it will take from either end. So if I say print from 6 and I don't specify the end, it will go to the very end. Nigeria, how are you? You can see it. Now, if I say print from nowhere to 13, I'm actually telling you to print from the beginning to 13. And you know that 13 is this space after Nigeria. So it will stop at hello Nigeria. Let's try. Hello Nigeria. Yeah, that's one important thing to note. So if you want, that's why we want to empty a list. Once you use this, what is it now? This operation here, you're about to empty that list. you're dealing with some method. Okay. Well, let me know. We're not talking about list now. Let me not go to the list. Let me not change, please. Pardon me. If I was not getting good terms.
So, Mr. Topman, sorry, before you run away from the slicing of lists, I have a question for you too.
Yes.
The negative, I need you to do a little explanation, a little deep dive into negative slicing using negative indexing and slicing a list.
Okay.
Can
The
you please
simple
go
thing
into
about
it?
using negative index is that negative index -1 refers to the very last index. -2 refers to the next one. So if I say print from, let's say I want you to get to -1, -1. I want to print only you using negative index. So -1 is there, 0, Minus 2 is O. Minus 3 will be Y. Let's try that. So minus 3. Well, uh-oh. Excuse me. Sorry. Well, it is carrying out its usual attitude of not printing the last argument passed to it. So you can see that when I gave it the only argument, only that minus 1, it printed the last one. When I said from minus 3 to minus 1, it carried out that attitude, that behavior that it has a program to do. It has a program not to include the very last element. So it stops at that element minus 1, that index minus 1 rather. Right? So if I had said print 13, 13 is the space after Nigeria, see what will happen. If I say print 13, nothing printed, but something printed, is a space. How would you know if I didn't put that print statement and I did this like this? Say print string thing, you see I present it. So it presents two single quotes and showing us that there's a space here. The space, yeah. I mean, the same way it presents strings is a character. I mean, okay, let's do that for 12. 12 is supposed to be the last letter in the word Nigeria, which is A. So it puts A inside single quote. That was how it puts space inside single quote here. So that's it. That's it about negative indexing. Minus 1 is the last one. Minus 2 is the next to the last. Minus 3 is talking to the last. That's it. I think that's basically
So I
it.
think I was actually expecting this Ash guy to be here. So I think this explains why that's what the right operands is always what's exclusive, be it negative or positive.
Okay, you want to break that down? Did you get him?
That case, how do we
Yes,
print
like
the
there was one guy that was saying that I've forgotten Ash, Ash. I don't know whether he's there. When I was saying that what
open?
yes, it's always what's one less than. If we subtract don't let us start subtracting. If we subtract 1 from 1, it will be what?
Like string length.
-2. So
Minus
and
1.
-2 is at what? At 0. So it still actually applies to negative, but it will be complex. So just stick to one way, one form, but it will be
So if we
complex.
are using negative now, I want
Yes.
to print the U completely. How do we
If you want to
include
print
U?
only U, it will be
Yeah.
just -1
Let me answer your question
because there's no
practically.
-0.
As in YOU, that's what I mean.
Okay,
Like if you
want
want
to
to
print
Watch now.
YOU, you won't pass
yes.
anything.
Did you
And
get that?
it will
Okay.
just take it
Okay.
to the end of it.
To
Yes.
the end. All
Yes.
right, I get.
Because once you pass in a right operand here, it will exclude that what you pass there and print the one before it. You understand?
Okay,
So
Okay.
thank you.
you always want to experiment. You always want to count the kind of thing you want to print before passing it there. If you want to print a certain thing, you must have known what the index position of what you want to print.
Okay. It's almost time. This class is supposed to end in the next 10 minutes, and I want to give us an exercise before we go. Still a slicing, and next we'll continue from formatting. I mean, different ways of formatting Python string, and then we'll talk about methods that applies to Python strings. And then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about input, of course. Lay some emphasis on print. Mr. Ben has done that already. He has done one already. How that prints a new line automatically, and then I think I've done some. I will integrate them in our next class probably. If I don't forget, I don't think I'll forget. The character of printing Python. But for now, let's work on this string now. This string contains
Before you
this
go on,
word.
someone says you should
Yes,
slice -1 to -4.
-1 to -4.
Yeah.
And whoever that person is, open your terminal and slice it. Declare a variable, a string like
It's
this,
saying
and
will it
slice
print
it.
in reverse?
Okay, will you put it in reverse?
Yeah.
No. Okay, -1 first before -4.
Yes.
All right. I like that. I like that. So -1. and then -4. Yeah,
Where is -1? -1 is u. Then -4
yeah, -1
is
is u.
space.
-4 is space after y.
Yeah.
Before y, rather. All right, guys. So is your question answered now?
It will not print in reverse. I don't think it.
We wrote a script. In fact, there's a method that prints that reverses. Is it true?
Yes.
Wait, that method reverses is list. I know, but I don't know whether it reverses a string. Does it? I'm
Which
not sure.
method?
The reverse method.
Okay.
Let's leave that for now. All right. Your classwork. Have all hands on deck. This is the time I want to see your faces. My string, please. I want to ask for permission. Like, can I take some more minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
you can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if your battery will permit, because it's looking low as well.
Yeah.
You're fast enough to see that.
It will permit.
Okay, let's do this. It will permit, but let's do this now that I have your permission to take more time. Whoa, I feel so permitted. You know what it feels like to feel permitted? So I'm looking at some software engineers making things happen. Who asked me that question? Somewhere. You're lucky it's you now. What are they sorry for now? Sorry about what now?
You're for wait for them. We no break.
Okay, my phone for that. Okay, Miss Stella, in that your heart of sorry, please share your screen. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Share your screen. Let's work.
I'm making use of my phone.
Oh. Blessing Paul. Apadi.
Now mobile she dey use.
Now phone that they use.
He sure me die.
I'll flog like
I don't want to know. He sure me die. Say all day, any day. That phone she dey always use.
Mr. Solomon. Solomon Sikak.
Okay, Bill, don't worry. I go repair my laptop.
I'm using my phone actually. My laptop is
Which is in PC. Don't hide.
I'm
Which is in PC. I'd not ask you, Abiodun. I'd not ask you.
I'm using a laptop.
Oh, dear Hadiza.
That is beautiful.
Give us some London feel of the programming. All right, so share your screen. The Latin is smelling London. Share your screen and then declare that same string I declared. So we're going to work together to slice that string into something else. To print, we're going to manipulate it to what we want. So I'm waiting for you.
Fatima. Fatima,
It says you're not allowed to share your screen.
I knew you were. Okay, yeah.
Hold on.
Samuel.
Hold on. I think I can handle it. Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel will do it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you can try now.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so is it Fatima, Sani, or Adiza? Sani. Which of the devices?
Adiza.
I'm not allowed.
Okay, you can try now.
Fatima is
Okay.
here. Both of them are here. Fatima joined in late. She joined in 3:44 to be precise.
She should be
Fatima, they're
flogged.
watching you.
I actually joined it because I was kind of busy and what about the class? Though I understand what you guys do.
What's the difference between Fatima and Sani and Hadiza and Sani?
Their names.
Let me complete myself.
They are two different people.
I'm waiting, please. Share your screen.
Yeah,
Adiza.
we are neighbors. I used to know her.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Back
Wow.
then.
See you. It doesn't sound like-
Oh.
What's up? What's keeping you? Please share now.
I'm sure her.
It's taking so
voice diagram assistant. Is that the
I've been.
recording agent?
That's not the
Something.
recording agent, so I don't even know.
Okay. That's your.
Ah. Okay, that's the end of it. Thank you very much. The host ended the meeting for everyone. Bye, guys.